Happy Hootie. So we have a basement door that every time you come down here, it feels like air is coming through the door. And it is so cold in Missouri. So obviously it's cold all the time. But as you can see here in the door frame, you can actually see light that's coming through here, and you can feel the wind. There's got to be a better solution to what we currently have. This door faces the west. It's been in for a couple of years, so it's just getting beat by the sun. We're going to go ahead and replace the seal, and hopefully that will then keep our house more insulated. So I'm going to let my husband put the seal in so he can show you exactly how to do it and get you all fixed up.
Hey guys, I'm Jerry with the Happy Hootie. Hey, if you get a chance, go down there and hit that like and smash that subscribe button, because you don't want to miss a thing whenever we come up with some more great money-saving tips for you and your family here on the Happy Hootie. To fix this problem today, what I'm going to be installing is one of these weather strip pieces that actually mounts on the outside of your door. It's a very simple process, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It comes in a 3-piece kit, and I'll be glad to put the link right down below so that you can get one for yourself to help save you some money on your next utility bill. You're only going to need a couple of simple tools to install that, and they're going to be a power screwdriver or drill. If you don't have one, you can certainly use a hand screwdriver, but I'm telling you, if you don't have one, this is definitely a tool you need to invest in. And then you're either going to need a hacksaw, or in our case, I'm going to be using this power cutter here, and we're going to get that thing cut with a Sawzall, because you're going to need to cut those pieces to make them fit just perfect. And your measuring tape. You can't forget the measuring tape. That's important. Got to have measuring tape. So let me unbox this. I'll show you what's inside. This is an MD brand. Got this from Menards, but again, we'll put a link down below for a similar product that you can get on Amazon. It comes with 3 metal pieces that are going to be able to fit a standard 6-foot door. These are actually 84 inches long, so they're going to have to get cut. And then you're going to have another piece so it can do a 3-foot wide door, but again, we'll have to get this cut. You have to trim it down. So the first thing we're going to do is take one of these long pieces here and come on over with me. You can see it's going to be a little too long, so we're going to need to measure to see where to cut that. Before you go to install any of these, the best thing you can do, in my personal opinion, a trick that I've learned anyway, is make sure your door is closed, obviously, and go ahead and lock the door. If you can do this with it open, but what you're going to find is you won't know exactly how deep to set this, and then when you go to close the door, if it's set too deep, you're not going to be able to close and lock the door, and you're going to end up tearing this out and redoing it. So make sure your door is shut, make sure it's locked, then you'll know how deep to put it. Then we're going to go ahead and measure. I've got 79.5 inches. So now we're going to go give it a cut. Okay, it's probably hard to see because of the light, but I've actually got it marked right there at the 79.5 inches. I've marked it on all the way through there. So what we're going to do is set this up here and give it a cut. So you're just going to line our cutter up here, Sawzall. Cut it off like that. Again, this is aluminum, so it should cut pretty easy. If you had a hacksaw, you can easily do it with that. Now again, we've got that piece cut. I'm going to show you. It's you need to give it a good test fit. It goes all the way up to the top and all the way to the bottom. When we screw that in, that's going to hold really well. Now you go ahead and take it. You can flip it upside down and just make sure, if you check the other side as well, it looks like it's going to fit exactly the same. Doors should be the same on both sides, but if for some reason one side is dropped lower than the other, you would need to know that. Since I know they're both the same size, I'm going to go ahead and line this one up, and I'm going to cut the other one. So now that we've got this up here, you're going to shove it back against that locked door and get it shoved in there good and tight. And you're going to go ahead and put one of these screws in. And then you're going to go ahead and work your way down. And go ahead and just put them at random spots throughout here, pushing it against that door as you go. And just get them all in there. And we've got our other side. We're going to go ahead and get it put up here. And then we're just going to repeat the process we did on the other side. I like to put like one in the middle just to hold it in place. And then you can go ahead and, if I said put them in random before, you just put one like at the bottom and the top, and then just kind of work your way and hit the gaps, because it allows you to push it completely up against the door. If you don't, you'll leave a gap like this one here at the bottom. So if you take a second, push it up against the door and then put it in there, you'll eliminate that gap. Got both the sides in, good and snug against that door. Now we're going to measure the top. I think right about 34, just a skosh over 34 inches. I've measured it 34 inches. Now, this particular one will be done a little different. We're going to go ahead and cut it off first. And we'll need to test fit it. But because I cut off that end hole, there's a long stretch before it gets to the end. This one will have a screw. We'll have 4 screws, but this one may be a little bit flexible, so I may have to go ahead and use one of the extra screws and punch it in through here. But let's see how rigid this is. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. That's fitting there real snug. It's got it pushed against both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and put some screws into there, and we'll hold it up. So what we're going to go ahead and do is go ahead and put these 4 in here, and then I'm going to try to just use this, use one of these screws as a drill bit and just push the last one in. I don't know that it really needs one, but I'm going to go ahead and try to put one in here anyway. And keep my bit. All right, so that'll make sure that that one doesn't ever come down. Now the last thing we got to do is test the door. So again, what that did, and it's going to be hard to see, was it added an extra layer of weather stripping that's going to push up against that door and block out any wind or rain or anything else that was going to attempt to come in that door. And it does it all the way around the entire outside, so that when you push it closed, it's sealed tight. Go ahead and try it and see if you think it's any better. What are you laughing at?
Apparently that's how you do it. So he's been telling me how easy it is, and it really was pretty simple. So unlocks okay.
You can tell that it's a little tighter.
It's definitely tighter, yes. I'm still able to lock it, and I don't see the gap in the door anymore.
Yeah, that's the problem you run into if you don't lock this when you're doing it, is if it would have been open and it would have been pushed open while we were doing it, then you'd really have to try to ram on this thing to get it closed, and this will be hard to do. It would be difficult for kids to get out of in case of a fire. So this way, this door operates just fine. It allows you easy access if you need to get out. But I think it's going to work real well, and it was definitely an easy fix. Only took a handful of minutes. What do you think? It was easy.
I think it's great.
It was easy for you?
It was easy for me.
All right. Well, thanks for watching.
Please like and subscribe. See you next time.